But yeah, so if I packed a packer when flying or at the airport, I feel like they would look through it and then just find it laying in there.
Yeah. You know what would be so funny? If they were like very aware of it and you had to like take it out just while you go through and then you could put it back in. So imagine you're just standing in line and you just take it out and put it in like on the tray.
Like you
and
take
then
off the belt, take off the packer.
Yes, and then you put it in the tray and then it just goes through and then you put it back on like after the X-ray
You're just
machine.
in the tray, like wee, passing through.
Oh, imagine just like being somebody like behind that person, seeing them put it in there, like, oh, okay, work. Why not?
Tell me how much you love me. Tell me you'll never doubt me. Tell me how much I changed your life. Say you can't live without
Hello,
me.
everybody. Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing okay. Today we're gonna sing the entire episode.
Imagine how annoying that would be.
Yeah.
I would hate that so much. Anybody, what?
Anybody, please.
Listen, I was about to say, anyway, welcome everybody. Anybody? Anyway, welcome everybody. We're back again with another
Yes.
episode of
Trans and transparent.
Yeah.
What else?
I don't know. You tell me.
2 T's in a pod.
Oh, I'm so mad that somebody else has that podcast name,
Yeah.
but I like our name.
Yeah. It's
Our
good.
name.
Our name.
I'm
I'm
trans. Are you? No, who's the transparent then?
I feel like you're the transparent though.
I'm
Because
so
you're
skinny. I just disappear.
Well, no.
I wish. Well,
No, I mean you say everything that comes to mind.
that is very true. I don't have a filter.
No, you don't.
No.
Hashtag no filter.
Hashtag no filter. Hashtag shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Anyway, today's gonna be a little bit more of a casual, fun, good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We're gonna keep it a little bit lighter, a little bit more fun today. I feel like last episode was a little bit more serious, so we wanna, include some humor things and just talk. As trans people, we're not always depressed, and
exactly.
we wanna, spread positivity as well. So
Yeah.
that's what we're gonna bring to y'all today.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun episode.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm in a good mood today.
Eh,
Whenever I put on a full glam, I just feel like I'm ready to seize the day,
Oh.
ready to party at night. Lady of the day and lady of the night.
Lovely,
Hey.
lovely.
So that's what we're gonna give today.
So today I had I'm an online fitness coach for anybody who doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I have calls with my clients,
Mm-hmm.
onboarding calls basically before I give them a training program and things like this. So today I had a call with a client's parent.
Really?
Yeah, because he's
Wow.
16, so he was like, "Oh, can you talk with my mom?" I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, never done that, but of course.
Mhm.
But then I got so fucking nervous.
Yeah, I can imagine. It feels
yeah.
a little scary.
Yeah, I don't know. Just parents make me nervous for some
Yeah.
reason. I could never be a teacher. But then because I didn't know if it was going to be a video call or something
Mhm.
like that. So, I put on a shirt because I wanted to look professional.
Oh.
And then, we had the call and then we didn't use the camera anyways.
Mm.
But then she was so nice and so sweet, and she just wanted to know about some burger recipe for her son, because she said that she makes all of the food for him.
Oh wow.
And then she was like, "Oh, I followed you for so long on Instagram."
That's so sweet.
And she
though.
was the one who applied for her son because she wanted him to start. So I was just so happy, and she was so kind, and she was from Finland also. I don't know, that was just a fun story and fun thing that happened today. I was just so fucking nervous before that.
I can imagine.
But then I was like, oh, okay.
But that's such a relief, when you start talking to somebody and let's say it's a bit of a scary situation, and then after a
Yeah.
while it's just oh, that's fab. And that you can tell that they're just so sweet, and then you immediately just relax.
Yeah.
It's the best feeling.
Yeah.
But that's so cute. I love hearing stories like that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, his
know?
mom felt so supportive.
Mm.
like a fan
Mm,
of trans people, basically, somehow.
I love that.
Yeah, it was nice.
A true ally.
True ally.
Yeah.
Also, I just remembered after listening to the previous episode, I also noticed that I swear all the time.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like in sections, but then while thinking about it and listening to the episode, I'm like, oh my god. So fucking nervous. Fucking dirty looks by women. Fucking security guard. Fucking women's bathroom. What the fuck? Fucking pants have pee on them. It's fucking nasty. So fucking sloppy, first of all. Fast as fuck back. Fucking poop. Fucking underwear. Why do I swear so much? Because I don't do that in
But
real life.
I think it might be like
in real life.
a little bit of a nervous tick when you're recording something that is like, you just kind of add stuff to add stuff.
Yeah.
Because I never say at the end of the day usually. But last episode I said it like 15 times, not even joking. So yeah.
Something happens when you start recording, you just like
yeah, it's
say
like a
random
different mindset.
things.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to try stop saying fucking all the time, and I'm going to try stop saying shit all the time.
As you just said it right now.
Yeah.
But hey, you know, there's always room for improvement. All right.
Wait, oh my god. What the hell?
What the hell?
I don't know. Sometimes my mouth makes weird noises. I can't. Something that I thought about also last week, because I was at my sister's dance show.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the audience, and like I still can't woo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. There are no sounds to make.
Right.
Because what are you gonna say otherwise?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you motherfucking hate that.
yeah. Let's go.
Hey.
No, no,
No. So one thing I've been thinking a lot about lately is honestly a lot of the, especially lately, I feel like with the content that I've been making recently on my Instagram, ever since we got started with the kind of like throwback video transformation type of situation, I've been looking through like some of my older photos and like some both like pre-transition photos, but also some even like in the early phases of transitioning, I guess. Like trying to figure out what I wanted to wear and stuff. There have been some crazy outfits over the years. And I'm looking back and I'm like, what was I thinking? And I feel like we both had some very questionable moments fashion-wise over the years. And it's just so funny because now, especially like I work full-time with fashion photography. Like that's my main job, you know? So I'm around fashion all the time and doing these things and it's lovely, but I'm like, imagine that little hunter back in the day walking around with those outfits, girl. I don't know what I was thinking.
But I feel like, don't you think in like 10 years that we're gonna look back on what we're wearing now and be like,
oh yeah,
what was that?
Absolutely.
But maybe not as much, because I feel like at certain points we just wore weird things.
Yes. Oh my god, I remember there's this one outfit. Or here's the thing, I bought this one shirt. For like because I wanted to do like a space galaxy makeup look when I started doing makeup, and this was like 2016, 17 somewhere. Like this was pre-transition, but I remember I was looking at it and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I still have it in my closet.
Oh, really?
I still have it at home. I'm about to like donate it or like take it to like a recycling plant. It's you remember I had like this metallic purple shirt with short sleeves, mind you. It was like short sleeves, super metallic, like holographic type metallic, purple plastic shirt.
I don't remember actually.
Yeah, and I remember I did like a space galaxy makeup look to go with it that I posted on my Instagram back in the day, and I'm like, wow, I really thought I did something. And I can tell y'all one thing, I did not do anything. That looked horrible.
But maybe people thought it looked good at the time.
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
You know, my favorite look that you had.
Yeah, please tell me.
Was when we were like 14.
Yeah.
It was like right before you started getting into makeup and these things, I feel like you just wore random
Oh, I already know what
stuff
you're gonna say.
that you had and just
Yep.
throwing
Absolutely.
random pieces of clothing together.
Can I guess what you're gonna say?
Yeah.
You're gonna say those fucking red shoes and the brown. Yeah.
Yeah, so you had like red shoes, like sneakers, and they
Yeah.
also had lights.
Yeah, they had LED lights on
Had the
them.
LED lights.
In like the at the edge of the bottom part of the shoe.
Yeah, they didn't have the wheels under, no.
No.
No, that would be crazy. But the lights, yes. They had those, and then just a regular pair of jeans.
Yeah.
A brown, like, dad shirt.
Yeah.
Like, long-sleeved sweater type
Yep.
shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the weirdest color combo.
Like also imagine like the jeans were like a dark denim also. It
Yeah,
was
like
just
blue.
it was just not it. But hey, if I will say one thing,
Mm.
that was right before I really started getting into more
Yeah.
trying to be more fashion.
Yeah.
And trying to be more cunt.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was awful.
also
Absolutely horrible.
because you had that, and then I remember both of us at that time had like a lot of flannels, like red
I
flannels.
love the good flannel.
And like ripped jeans, like tight ripped jeans,
Extremely tight.
Yeah.
Yep.
like a little bit of emo style fashion.
100%.
But then our two friends were a lot more emo.
Yes, they really were. But I lived for that era. Honestly, we had a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Horrible fashion, horrible makeup. I remember when I started getting into makeup, I had some very interesting choices. Do you remember I used to have like blue lips,
Yeah.
purple
Yeah.
lips, and like
You also had like black.
yeah, I
had
loved
liquid
like a
lipstick.
liquid lipstick, like the dried down matte as hell.
Yeah.
I had a like it was. I remember the exact lipstick. It was a lipstick from Jeffree Star.
Right.
It was Breakfast at Tiffany. So it was like this mint, blue, green type turquoise, like shade.
Mm.
And I had no liner or anything, no lip liner. It was just that color straight on my lips. Horribly done. Cakey, dry ass foundation. Mind you, I have dry skin, so like
Yeah.
I really have to moisturize.
I feel like that
properly.
it was so trendy to have like matte skin.
Yes.
And then like eyebrows on fleek.
Yes. Yes.
I remember I did my eyebrows so dark.
Yeah.
It looked like fucking poop.
Yes. Oh my god, we all had the 2016 brow.
Yeah.
Our entire gang, we were like carved brows on fleek.
Yeah.
Like that was the aesthetic, the vibe. But cannot say that it looked very good. Hey. But you know what? It was an era.
Yeah.
Thankfully, that era is gone.
Yeah.
Past.
Definitely.
Deceased.
I'm
never
so
to be seen again
glad that
from us.
skinny jeans are out.
Yes, me too. But
At-
they're coming back.
At least for men.
Yeah, but they're coming back.
Not for men, please.
Well, I don't think men ever really stopped doing it. Especially straight men. I feel like I've been living in that era for a few years now.
Yeah.
But it's always
But
like
there
that.
was
You know
a
what I-
time
Yeah. What?
Uh, there was a time when like super skinny jeans were so trendy on guys.
Mhm.
And like a long t-shirt,
Yes.
like
Oh!
skinny and long.
No, this is one of
to-
my worst like things, or like it's one of my least favorite trends
Yeah.
I've ever seen in my life. Because you remember people used to have these like long ass white shirts that
Mm.
were like, and the edge of the what's it called?
The arm?
Yeah, the edge of the sleeve. The edge of the
Yeah.
sleeve was like a little bit curled up.
Yeah.
The edge of the bottom part of the shirt was also a little bit curled up.
Mm.
And then people would have the man bun. Like some tattoos, they were usually really poorly done.
This is like millennials.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And like, yeah. And then the tight skinny jeans
Yeah.
and a horrible sneaker on top of that.
Yeah.
Honestly, iconic. I hope I never see it again.
Yeah, me too.
You don't want to do that? You don't want to give that a
No.
try? No, you sure?
But I feel like it was also just the white boys.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it was a little across the board.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. It depends. But I just remember, like, because that was definitely, like, when we were teenagers, like, a lot of the older teenagers at the time, like, when we were in our early teenage years.
Yeah.
A lot of people who were, like, 20 at the time, maybe, or, like, just turned 20 had that style.
Yeah.
And we would be like, oh, that's cool. But then now I'm looking back at it, I'm like, ew, what were we thinking?
Yeah.
That would never look good on anybody. That's all I have to say on that.
Yeah.
But we've had a lot of interesting fashion stories over the years, a lot of different styles and trends.
I just remember how uncomfortable skinny jeans are, especially when skinny, like high-waisted skinny jeans were in, and I had those every day with a belt and just like snatched at the waist. I could barely breathe. It hurt to sit down.
Yep. You rocked them skinny jeans for a long time.
Skinny jeans and crop tops.
Yep.
I had crop tops every day. I had them in the winter. I remember people asked me, like, aren't you cold? I'm like, yeah, but I don't care. I need to wear my crop tops.
For the style.
Yeah, so I'm so glad I don't have to wear crop tops anymore.
I always like to say a hoe never gets cold.
A hole?
Well, that too. A hoe.
Oh.
But a hole works too.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? Honestly. But I remember also, because I really want to talk about this. I remember when I just started transitioning, like literally in the the month, 2 months after I decided to like socially start transitioning.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was on some very cheap websites. I won't name names, but I don't tend to order from these websites anymore. But I just wanted to get some like basic stuff just so I had a little bit and try out some different styles. And I didn't want to spend a lot of money on stuff that, you know, I might not like.
Yeah.
But I did buy some very weird things. And I just remember I've tried a lot of different things. And I'm like, looking back even now, this was only like 2.5 years ago. But I'm looking back at it now and I'm like, wow, that did not look great. I'll be honest. I will be very honest. So, you know what I don't like on myself? And what I really...
Cheap clothing?
Yes. Not the point I was trying to make,
Okay.
but that, yes, that too. But specifically, like, I remember I would try to get a lot of these, like, you know, 2-piece sets or whatever with, like, a crop top and everything. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. On me, it's not the vibe. It's really not the vibe. It
like
does
a
not
crop top.
Like a crop top and like a set situation.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Like a 2-piece set.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like it doesn't fit my body type at all. But I was, you know, I wanted it to work. And looking back, for me, I don't know if it's not for me. It doesn't look the best on me. It looks great on other people, but
I feel like you're always gonna look back and be like, what was I doing? What was I thinking?
yeah. Do you have any of like? Because I feel like you've also had some different fun things that maybe didn't work on you, or you know.
Yeah, I don't know if I've had any the past, like, since I realized that I was trans. I feel like I've had the same sort of style, but before that, I'm ashamed.
I mean, your pre-transition era was very fun.
Yeah,
Like to try a lot of things.
Well, at least when we were in high school, that was like, well, the crop tops and the tight jeans sort of era, and like leather jackets, bomber jackets. Remember?
Oh, you loved your bomber jackets. That's
yeah,
true.
but they were also stylish.
I mean, I still like a bomber jacket.
Yeah, but like everyone had the bomber jackets. Yes. I wanted to be different, so mine was like, what's it called? Like red wine color. What's it called?
Like a burgundy color.
Yeah, exactly. Something else that I remember is I loved going shopping with you because you always wanted to go to Jack and Jones.
Yes.
To buy clothes, and I loved looking at like masculine or quote unquote male clothing. Just because, I don't know, I was just like, I just find this fun for some reason, you know. I hated looking at clothes for myself, so I always wanted to go with you and like suggest things. And the same with my friend who's a guy. I loved buying clothes for him, and now I understand why.
Yeah, and I had the exact opposite. I always loved to go shopping with like my mom and my sisters and stuff.
Yeah.
With you, transgenders.
But yeah.
What? Hey, how does it go?
I don't
The
know.
song?
I don't know what
Whatever.
you're saying.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever. I feel like you had more memorable weird stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? A fashion icon is not born; they are made through trial and error over the
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I might not be a fashion icon yet, but give me a few years.
You had like the fake glasses in different colors.
Yes, I love that shit for some reason.
Always had that.
Yes. Yes, I
And-
remember. You know these like, because it's the like the pilot aviator type
Yeah.
style, like Ray-Ban esque vibe. But I had those, and I had them like these cheap ass glasses in different colors.
Like the glass was
Yes,
different colors.
The glass was different colors. It usually was a silver frame. I'm very much a silver kind of girly. But I would have like, I remember I had like 2 different ones that were red. Both of them
Yeah.
were red. I don't know why I had 2, but I had 2. Then I had yellow ones. I had
Right.
clear glass ones. I had a bunch of different ones, and I don't know why, but it was
It was your thing.
it was my thing for a
Yeah.
while.
I also remember the like chain that was all at the same time as the chain era, when we had like a chains on the side and you had like necklaces with like a locker on it.
Yes, yes, yeah. But we really, you and me,
Yeah.
we both fed into that like
Yeah.
e-girl, e-boy era.
Yeah, exactly.
So hard. I remember like we were obsessed, both of us. I remember you in Spain, you bought like a necklace with a lion on it with a little barbell in the
Right.
mouth.
Oh, I missed that necklace though.
Yeah, I get that. But and then like we both, oh my god, y'all, this we have to say this. Our first trip when we turned 18, because we turned 18 the same summer.
Yeah.
Because your birthday is obviously in August, so we went right after you turned 18.
Mm.
And we went to Barcelona together. This was our first trip as like adults.
Yeah.
And I remember like we really wanted to give looks that trip. And I definitely had a lot of very questionable, but kind of cute. Some of them were actually kind of cute, but very questionable looks and outfits. But I remember the first day we got there, we got to the hotel right from the airport, and we were both like, okay, you know, let's get ready a little bit. We had just taken a cab to the hotel, so we didn't really think about how warm it was outside, right?
Yeah.
And e-girl and e-boy aesthetic, like that was at its peak
Yeah.
when we were there. And I just remember you and I both got ready, put on some makeup, and put on like outfits that were appropriate for Sweden.
Yeah.
But
We had like that long sleeves.
Yes.
With the, like layers. I think
lot
I
of
had
layers.
shorts though, but I had like long shorts.
I remember I had the first day I had a long yellow
Right.
shirt, like a long
It was
sleeve
also a little
yellow
bit
shirt.
turtleneck.
Yes, a little turtleneck. I had a bunch of chains and rings and stuff that were black. And then I remember I had black, thick jeans.
Yeah.
And it was just, oh my God. We walked outside and we were like submerged in the heat and we gagged. Because I
Yeah.
remember how hot it was and we both were like dying. We walked for like 5 minutes. We were like, no,
No.
we can't do this.
Seriously.
But I think we just ended up going to a restaurant for a little while and then we went back to the hotel. And
Yeah,
then we
I think so
changed.
actually. We went to a restaurant nearby and then went back.
Yeah. But that was kind of an iconic trip. Like
It
we had a
was.
good time on that trip.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but all in all, I do feel like nowadays, I think you have really nice style. I like
Thank
the
you.
way you dress nowadays.
Thank you.
I feel like you've come a long way.
Yeah, well, there are so many things that I would like to wear. Like every time before I go out, I look at Pinterest for like outfit inspiration, and I can even like imagine stuff that I like to wear, but I just have like fucking black and white shirts and 2 pairs of jeans that I like.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't be as creative as I want. It's like I'm a painter, but I can only use 1 pen, basically. That's how I feel.
Okay, valid. That's fair. So if any brand is out there listening, feel free to send us some clothes.
Yeah.
We would not mind.
Yeah.
I really would not mind.
But it's also more difficult to find clothes that fit you nicely when you're trans. Because I can see, like, I have ordered clothes online, and they look so nice, like on the model on the
Yeah.
website. And then I order it, and then I get it, and I try it on, and I'm like, what the hell? Doesn't look the same.
Yeah. No, I get you.
So I feel like it's difficult to find nice pieces of clothing that you can actually wear.
Yeah.
But I feel like the best thing in that case is just to go out, try on clothes, like in real life, and don't just order a bunch of things online.
But honestly, I can find that kind of dysphoric.
Okay.
Like going, or for me personally,
Yeah.
like I think sometimes going to a store and trying things on, I kind of feel a little bit like exposed in a sense.
Mm.
So I personally enjoy shopping stuff online
Yeah.
a lot more. And then I also do have the luxury of like I work in fashion, and I work at like a retail company that has a lot of different brands. So usually, if there's something I want from there, first of all, we have
You can just steal it.
yeah, exactly. that's my wardrobe. No, I'm
Yep.
just kidding. No, but I can try things on in the studio, which is really nice.
Mm.
So then it's a little bit more, I work at the headquarters, so I don't have to worry about like other people being there. It's just my colleagues. So
Yeah.
it's chill in that sense, and I get to touch
That's
and
nice.
feel stuff all the
Yeah.
time, Hey. And actually feel like the quality of the stuff that we get in. So that's
Yeah.
also really fun. And I also see what it looks like on the model when we're taking the pictures.
Mm.
So I guess that luxury is quite nice to have. However, a lot of the stuff we have on the website is not quite in my price range, even with discounts. So then I usually go to other websites anyway.
Yeah.
But I can kind of see with a photo what's
Yeah.
going to look nice and what's not going to look nice, just because I kind of know.
A
little bit.
Yeah, that's nice.
Pick me up and
That
never
part
put
is
me
nice.
down. Pick me up and
Sure.
never put me
Watch out.
down. Pick me up and never put me down.
I am an orange.
I feel like you're more of a plum.
Well, I think you're a banana.
I want to be a cucumber. Some trans guys say that a T-dick is, what the fuck are they called? Those like mini pickles.
Oh,
They look the same basically, but they're green obviously.
right. Okay, why not?
Yep.
Oh, you mean the cornichon?
Yes.
What is it called in English? Is it called that? No.
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Cor-
Cornichon.
Cornichon.
I forget what they're called, but whatever. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about a topic that we touched a little bit on earlier, and I feel like traveling has been a big thing for both of us over the years. At
Well,
least
I
for-
haven't traveled in like 3 years, but
It's been that long for you?
yeah. Last time I traveled, I have been in like Norway to meet my friend.
Yeah.
I've been in, that's it. I've been in Finland to pick up my testosterone, but
Right. Well, that doesn't count.
no. But other than that, I haven't been.
But you traveled a lot when you were younger still.
Yeah.
But I guess not as much when you've been.
No, I haven't
Post
had the money,
transition.
unfortunately, so I haven't been anywhere since 2022.
Yeah, that's fair. Valid.
Yeah, that's fair. You're broke. No, but
Very valid.
I will be traveling soon again.
Yeah.
For the first time as a trans man.
As a trans.
As a trans.
Just as a trans.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I have traveled a lot.
Yeah.
Both pre and post transition, I would say. Or like
Mm.
post beginning my transition, whatever. Anyway, and honestly, there have been a lot of things to think about when traveling in a sense. And I love traveling. Like, it's one of my favorite things in the world. And I've gotten to see a lot of the world as a
Yeah.
result. One of my favorite places to be is Paris.
Mm.
And I travel there quite a lot for like ballroom and stuff. And I travel a lot because of ballroom, because I'm there to compete in balls. And hey, love competing in balls.
You love
No,
the
but
balls.
yeah. So when I travel, I've noticed this thing of like every time I travel, they have been staring more and more at my passport.
Yeah, you have an old passport.
I have a
right?
very old passport, and I have a very old ID.
Why
also,
don't you fix that?
Because they're gonna run out soon anyway, so I'm gonna do it like very soon.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm like, there's no,
yeah.
I've just been lazy. Okay, I have ADHD. let me live.
Yeah.
Let me be. But yeah, so anyway, I need to update my passport, and that's just something I've noticed, like when traveling, that like people have started paying attention more to like my documents and
Yeah.
stuff like this. And I feel like every time I travel, it's giving a little bit more and more like, okay, this is a transgender up in here traveling, and I feel especially in like Sweden, a lot of people would sometimes stare,
Yeah.
and like people pay attention, especially in airports. I feel like a lot of people pay attention because you have a lot of different people from different places. So I feel like you always get a lot more looks and stuff in general when you're traveling. However, there are some cities, and this is why I love big cities, and that's why I love traveling to Paris, for example. People in Paris do not, or when I've been there, I cannot speak for everyone else there, but when I've been there, girl, you see everything there. I'm not calling you girl, by the way.
Yeah.
But like,
And not the people listening either.
yeah, no, I just use it as a thing I say, okay? Hey, anyway. But it's crazy to me because when I've been there, like you see everything. Like you see all kinds of people, and people do all kinds of things. So it's like, I just remember when I've been there, like no one really cares. They're doing their own thing. Like people are so busy and like preoccupied with their own stuff. They don't necessarily pay attention to other people around them as much. And I kind of love that. I kind of love that about traveling
I feel
also.
like it's the same vibe in New York.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
just don't care. They see weird shit every single day.
Yes. Not calling trans people weird. That's not what I'm trying to
No, but
say,
like they're
but-
not gonna look around at all.
Exactly. I was trying to be funny. I was making a joke.
No.
I wasn't being serious. Anyway, no, but and exactly, like people see everything, so it's like, oh, whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
But also, it was one of the times I was in Paris. I went to this queer bar with my friend that I was traveling with, and I remember there were literally like 5 trans girls working at this bar.
Oh.
It was insane. I've never seen that in Stockholm
No.
ever.
No.
Like maybe one, and that's probably gonna be my friend working there. But like I feel like I never really see like trans people working in like
They're all
queer
unemployed.
places. No, but I feel like in Stockholm, like I feel like I only see gay men working in gay bars.
Yeah.
Or like
yeah,
in
that's
queer
true.
bars. Like so it was so refreshing seeing like a bar just filled with a bunch of trans girls
Yeah.
working together. And people were so like sweet to them from what I could tell like while we were there. It was nice to see.
Yeah.
And I
that's totally-
love that about like going to different places and going to different countries and
Yeah.
seeing how people live differently in a sense, or like
Yeah.
how trans people are treated differently in different countries. But I mean, obviously this is just from a visiting perspective. Obviously I cannot speak for how people are treated there. I know there is shit going down there too for trans girls and for other people. But I just thought it was nice, and I like that about like Paris specifically.
Yeah. I've never been there. I want to go.
You need to go. I love
No.
that city.
I'm going now.
Yeah, you should go. But yeah, but I've noticed that generally about like traveling to bigger cities, because I've
Yeah.
still seen a few different ones, and it's a nice feeling like when people are just doing their own thing and not really up in your business in a sense.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. And also, I feel like in Stockholm, a lot of trans people know each other because there aren't that many of us like publicly open about it and, out and about, I guess,
Yeah.
in the same way. Whereas if you go to a lot of other bigger cities, there's a bit more community in it. What do you think about that? Like, have you noticed that as well?
I mean, not really. Like, I know a lot of queer people know each other here.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's this thing with like trans masculine people, or at least trans men, that I feel like they don't always hang out with queer people, and they usually keep more to themselves. So I feel like I barely know any trans guys here still.
Yeah.
And I feel like I wouldn't if I went to another country either, unless I like look for them and post something, maybe,
Yeah, that's fair. I get that.
But it's also like, usually, if a trans guy has been on testosterone for a very long time, it's difficult to notice.
Yeah.
Because they just blend in.
Yeah. That's fair. I get that. I feel like there's also a bit of a difference between like I've noticed a lot of the action figures. I love that saying. I started using it.
Yeah, okay, really.
No, but I've noticed a lot of the action figures are kind of like
That's
wanna
trans men, by
be-
the way, for people who didn't hear that episode.
yeah, exactly. Want to be a little bit more low key about it.
Mm.
Not everyone, of course, but I've noticed a lot of trans men are a bit more in that mindset of like
Mm.
don't necessarily want to be open about it in the same way. Whereas I feel like
They live in the shadows.
yeah, exactly. No, but I've noticed that a lot of trans women have a tendency to kind of stand out because I don't know, we got that power, that essence.
Yeah.
And not saying that trans men don't. I'm just saying like I think some trans women tend to embrace it, and I love that. Like that's what I noticed. Like in ballroom, obviously,
Mm.
is a very empowering space to be in as a trans woman because you get to like be that
Yeah.
version of yourself. And sometimes it's easy to tell someone is trans more so by their aura rather than the way they look.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of trans women carry themselves in a very specific way.
Yeah.
So that's it's somehow easier for other dolls to clock other dolls. You know what I mean? We know how to clock each other, but
Yeah.
not in a clock way, but more so,
Oh my god.
I see you, I see you,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I get
and
that.
hype each other up.
Mm.
And I kind of wish it was a little bit more like that with trans men, or like,
yeah, I feel
yeah.
like they or we
yeah,
just want to like blend in and just be seen as any other guy.
Mm.
I'm not speaking for everyone, by the way. We're not speaking for everyone, putting everyone in a box, but just from my perspective, from what I seen and from how I feel, like
Mm.
myself, that I'd rather be seen as just a guy.
Mm.
So I think we tend to, you know, take a back seat in everything, like a lot of situations, you know.
Yeah.
And don't want to be the center of attention, typically.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, I feel like that's quite common to not want to be the center of attention, but honestly, just embrace it. Just go for it. I feel like sometimes it's nice. Switch it up a little bit. Shake it up.
Shake it up. Shake the packer. Oh my god. Oh. Speaking of packers and traveling,
Yeah.
I've just seen so many things about like trans men packing their packer.
Right.
And then obviously you can see it when they look through the bag. So it's just gonna be like not even like a dildo. It's literally a soft penis just in the back. And imagine like sitting there working
Yeah.
with the what's it called, the X-ray or
Yeah, exactly.
screen,
Yeah.
and then just see a bag, and then there's like a little soft penis like me.
I'd just be like, you know what? It's kind of iconic of you.
But
Go
sometimes,
ahead.
they want to look through bags. They always
Yeah.
want to look through my bags for some reason.
Really?
Yes, every time.
Oh,
But
that's true. Every time I've traveled with you,
yes,
they've
but
checked
every
your
time I
bags.
travel. But that's usually I have a lot of like creams for my eczema, so they want to look at those.
But you are also, I'm sorry, but you're bad at packing. One time you packed a damn screwdriver and
I
put it in
didn't-
your
I did-
hand luggage.
I didn't know who was there.
Right. Well, we got stopped, obviously,
Yeah.
and you had to check it in and then get it back when we came back from the trip.
All right. Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I usually also pack like protein powder and creatine and
Right.
these things, and they always want to like look at that for some reason.
It does look like
Uh,
drugs, though, so it makes sense.
Well, yeah, exactly. And then, like I said, my creams, because I have so fucking dry skin,
Your cream.
my cream,
Oh.
and usually just because they're prescribed, I am allowed to bring them, even though they're bigger. But then they have to look at them.
Right, okay. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you.
Oh my god. But yeah, so if I packed a packer when flying or at the airport, I feel like they would look through it and then just find it laying in there,
Yeah.
because they always have to, what's it called?
Like, look through it.
Yeah, look through the bag and
Yeah.
touch things,
Yeah.
But now when I've traveled, or the few times I have, I just always wear my packer, so I don't feel like I need
But
to pack it.
I've thought about that. What if they end up thinking it's something, Because can it show up on like a body scanner? You know what I mean?
I don't think so. So it's usually silicone, so I don't think it's gonna
Right, that's fair.
do any make any sort of reaction or sound or anything.
I'm just trying to. You know what would be so funny if they were like very aware of it, and you had to like take it out just while you go through, and then you could put it back in. So imagine you're just standing in line, and you just take it out and put it in, like, on the tray.
Like you
and
take
then
off the belt, take off the packer.
Yes, and then you put it in the tray, and then it just goes through, and then you put it back on, like after the X-ray machine.
Just in the tray, like passing through.
Oh, imagine just like being somebody like behind that person, seeing them put it in there, like, oh, okay, work. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that never happens, but I mean, imagine.
Yeah.
You're like, no silicone going through here. Well, I think some people couldn't go through there then. If you know what I mean.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. There are also a lot of people don't even know what a packer is.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to lie. Well, yes, I did know what it was before you.
you were the one actually who told me what a packer is.
That's true.
And you were the one who told me what bottom growth is as well.
That is true.
Because this was... Like,
but I mean,
obviously
I feel like I learned more about it from you after when you got into it more properly.
Yeah, but I remember, I think it was like a year or maybe even 2 years before I knew that I was trans. And you had a lot more knowledge about trans people. I don't know if you were even out by then or at that time.
Maybe.
But I just remember we were hanging out at my mom's place, or we were hanging out at my house. And then actually we were talking about my brother or my...
Oh, yeah.
What's it called?
Well, your stepbrother, I guess.
Yeah. We were talking about my stepbrother who's trans. No, but I remember you were just like, well, I wonder if he has a packer. And I was like, what the hell is a packer?
Right.
You're like, oh, it's just like a soft penis you can have in your pants to feel better, I guess. And I was like, that's so weird. Why would you do that? What do you mean a soft penis-looking thing? What the hell?
Not the soft penis-looking thing. Okay.
And I just thought it was so weird. And that was funny because now I just wear one every single day.
Yeah.
But you also, around the same time, told me what bottom growth is. Because you were like, oh, didn't you know, like, when, if you're assigned female at birth, when you start testosterone, you're, I'm going to say the correct word for the female anatomy. So if you don't want to hear that, skip like 10 seconds. So basically the clitoris grows a little bit, like a few centimeters. And I was like,
you were like, give it to me.
No.
Give it to me right now.
No.
I want it.
No. Maybe in my head, but I was like,
Yeah.
I just thought it was so weird. I was like, that can't be true. You're lying. What?
You're fucking lying.
You're like, yeah, it becomes like a mini penis. I was like, what?
But I feel like back in the day, I feel like you were kind of like not that aware of trans men in a sense.
Yeah.
So maybe that kind of, I don't know, maybe it sparked some thoughts in there somewhere.
Maybe. I remember I remember when you told me about the packer, I remember feeling a little bit like, oh, I want to try. But I didn't pay attention to it.
No, fair enough. I get that. But yeah. No, but yeah.
You had the knowledge about the trans guys.
Yeah.
How though?
I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest. The thing is, I feel like I've just had... Sometimes with me, whenever I hear information, it just kind of sits in my brain for some reason and just doesn't leave.
Yeah. Maybe you just read it somewhere.
Yeah, like one time, and then I'm like, oh yeah, right. Or I can usually deduct a bit of an answer from just previous knowledge of other things around me and then come up with some yada yada bullshit answer that is usually somewhat correct. So people think I'm really smart sometimes, which is really nice. Which I am. No, I'm kidding. But I don't know. I think I just read it somewhere or saw it somewhere and then it just stuck.
Yeah.
But I've also, like, have you noticed, like, during... Because do you ever feel like people pay attention to you in airports a little bit extra specially, like, or maybe that they look at your passport and like, oh,
no,
because did you update your passport? No,
but I haven't traveled with my passport because I've only gone to Norway, so I just use my driver's license, and I have or my driver's license is from before I started testosterone.
Right.
So I'm not auntie, but I still have short hair and I still like try to look as masculine as possible. So
fair.
people don't really look at it that much.
Mm.
If you look closely, then you probably think that I'm like 15 in that picture. But people
okay.
just look quickly, see it as me, and then see my age. And obviously it's the right name as well.
Yeah. Well, there's looking 15 and there's being 15, which is what I am on my fucking driver's license ID. So I look very different.
Yeah.
And I remember I was meeting you recently and we were going to go to a bar and the
Right.
bartender, not the bartender, the security guard at the door looked at my ID and he was like, do you have another form of identification? And I had to like show a picture of my passport on my phone, which was, mind you, that is also like I had short hair because I need to renew my passport too, but it's a bit more of a recent photo at least. And he looked at that and he was like, I'm gonna get my colleague. So they went and he went and got a coworker and they looked at it and then she was an ally. So she's like, yeah, it's fine. So then I got in, but
she's like, this is not weird.
Yeah. But I was like, yeah. So I really need to update them.
Yeah,
basically.
Definitely. You could be like denied.
Yeah.
People go, this is your brother, this is not you.
Yeah, literally. Well,
but yeah, I have to renew my passport too.
You do?
It doesn't even have my right name.
Right. Maybe we could go together. We could book a time.
Oh my god, doing passports together.
Passports! Hashtag real idea. Let's go. Yeah, no. But I also feel like that's a bit scary, like doing any kind of document stuff. I'm always like, ugh, it's a pain in the ass. I don't like it. Especially now, I feel like as a trans person, it's a bit like, hello.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah.
Don't mind me.
Yeah, because like I feel like once I change my gender marker, I'm just not going to think about it anymore.
Exactly.
But now, usually they don't even look at that when checking my ID. Like no one checks the gender. You just assume the gender based on the person you see in front of you.
Exactly, yeah.
But when I do my passport, obviously they're going to fill in the information and everything and probably look through it all. So that's going to be weird. But, you know.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
What are
you going to say?
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, exactly. I never know what gender to pick when I'm booking my ticket to fly. Do you pick female or male?
Well, I pick male, but that's just because that's what says in my passport.
Yeah. I think I've picked male as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I feel like...
But the thing is, they can deny you based off of that.
Yeah.
So if I were you, as much as it sucks, I would still use what is on your passport right now. Just because it's a matter of like the information being correct on the booking versus...
I think just...
But it sucks. It's annoying.
Yeah, I get that. But I think what I've thought about is just like, if it says male, they're not even going to think about it. If it says female, they're going to be like, oh. Like on the ticket. Because usually it also says Miss and the last name.
That's true. That's fair. I get that.
So then it might become a whole thing. But I feel like it depends.
A whole thing?
A whole thing.
I love a whole thing.
Like I said, I've just been traveling to Norway and usually they don't even check my ID.
Yeah.
They never done that. So...
Yeah. I mean, that's what's nice about traveling like within the EU.
Yeah.
Is that they don't necessarily always check as much. It's more so if you go to like Asia or America or whatever, like further away from Europe, then they usually check your passport and your ticket a little bit more.
We wouldn't even be able to enter the US at this point.
Well, that's a whole different discussion. But it's also so weird for me because I also have I need to renew my American passport because I have American citizenship. However, now I'm like, that's going to be a very interesting little trip to the American embassy in Stockholm.
But you don't even. What's the purpose to renew it now?
Well, if I go to the US,
but they're not going to let you in.
Like, there's no current like. You can't come in, but it's just more so it's been an ongoing thing right now with passports being denied, like the legal change of gender marker on American passports and stuff like this due to some executive orders that Trump has put in place. Fucking orange Cheeto ass man. Ugh. But it shows quite clearly, like, just the fact that you thought that is quite representative of what the U.S. is giving right now.
Yeah, but I think I just saw a TikTok where someone told that story that one person got denied. So I thought
it was happening.
This is happening to everyone. What the hell is going on?
But it wouldn't surprise me because that's honestly the direction it's going.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nasty.
All right, we're going to wrap it up.
Like a condom on a penis. Yeah. I feel like we've had a bit of a different episode today, but I kind of like it. How did you feel?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I liked it. It was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope you like it. Let us know what you think about it. And then also, please follow our Instagram.
Yeah.
Trans and Transparent. And please send us DMs of either questions you have about anything, really. Like, it could be something in your life. It could be something about us. Or if you have any fun stories you'd like to share with us so we can read fun stories. So we're going to implement that at the end of every episode. Like a question from a listener or a story from a listener to sort of end every episode that way. So feel free to DM us on the Trans and Transparent Instagram account.
Yes.
Yes.
I think it's going to be fun. I can't wait to see what y'all are going to text us.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to say a big thank you for today's episode, and I hope to hear y'all. What? Not hope to hear y'all. I hope y'all will be here next week tuning into our next episode.
Next week, we're going to have a guest.
Yes.
And it's just
I'm going to be in Finland, so I am not going to be here to record.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that, and hope you have a great rest of your week or day or life.
Whatever. All right. We love y'all. Talk to you later.
Yes,
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
On a Saturday night, 2 shots saying that she feeling just right. Call up her girlfriends, rush to the club, tryna squeeze them hips in a dress so tight. You love her, caught your eye, won't find another. Lips so soft and her skin like butter. Wanna tangle up behind the covers, but hold up, you should know. Cause she don't want no man, she just came here to take your bands. Get free drinks with all of her friends. Blow your mind every time she dance. Ooh, shaking for a flight to France. You never really stood a chance. Ain't got enough stance to get in her pants. She tell you you could, we should know that you can't. Don't you fall in love, don't you waste your time. She'll take all your money.